Okay. Hello Naru. That is a very fitting first message for a solar pellet stream. Hello Smo. Hello Mac. Welcome. This run I feel like is going to be a lot simpler than most recent streams. It is I mean, you get it from Andre, right? Um, it's a quality weapon with a 24 strength requirement, which is insane. It is a dex leaning quality weapon, so I'll probably just go 2740 like yesterday. Real Pike gaming, like the fish. Hello Corniac, hello Eth, hello Flat Cop. It is a birthday today, almost definitely, that's true. Happy birthday to whoever's birthday it is. Well, Smo, maybe if your hammer was cooler, then I wouldn't have had to question it. I don't know why I grabbed that. I'm too used to doing starting weapon streams at this point. This is the third to last thrusting weapon stream, because I'm going to redo Velka's and four-prong plow. But this is the final new thrusting weapon, so... And next week is the two final new weapons, like the last weapons that I will ever stream. So, could redo all of them, all the thrusting weapons. Oh, god damn it. I did the exact same thing yesterday. Okay. Because shield poke? That's true. But then why wouldn't I just do, like, grass crest, you know? I need stamina. Shield poking takes a lot of stamina. Joking. Joking it live on stream. As one should in a solar pellet stream. Oh my goodness. Smo, thank you so much. Do them all again, but with minimum stats? But then it would just be the same thing, but would take longer. God, 6 months is a long time. I'm glad that I make content good enough that you feel like supporting me for that long. That means genuinely a lot. Besides, I gotta do Dark Souls stuff. Dark Souls 2 stuff, rather. Loses on that last 5% of physical damage reduction. Yeah, that makes all the difference. I'm gonna lose a boss fight because I took 5% damage. Okay, your hammer is cool, but the Dragon Tooth, in my personal opinion, in my experience, the average opinion is that the Dragon Tooth is cooler. I'm not saying that it's even my personal opinion. It's just that through my experience, what I have seen other people say. That is all. You know, I'm not even sure how to take that because I have used things that... Used isn't the right word. I mean, it is. Circumstantially, things that I would rather not have there have been background noise. So, like... I guess it being intentional is a different thing. I don't know. God damn it, I missed barely. The only good weapon in this game is the fire longsword. True, I do need to make a video about that. Trying something while watching? Have you seen in my Discord server in the art channel? There is a pinned artwork by Nikki. You should use that as inspiration because it's really good. All infusions on all weapons. Oh, thank you. Just activated because solar pellets stream shenanigans. I swear to God. I got this. This is the one. Really. There's no way I fail depth clip 16 times in a row, right? Okay, well, maybe there's no way I failed depth clip 17 times in a row, right? I did this first try yesterday. I swear I'm good at the video game. Okay, see? It's easy. I don't think I was actually 16 times, but I was not counting, and that sounded like a funny, like, kind of feasible number. You get jump scared? I don't think there's anything jump scare worthy in my Discord server. Solar Pellets is a fraud. No, I'm just occasionally bad at the video game. You should know this by now. Okay. Since they locked you in the dungeon? Huh? What it was not since they locked you in the dungeon? Well, my birthday was last week or whatever. Don't you remember? I think that was last week. I lose track of time sometimes. Oh, no more jump scare? Yeah, true. Yeah, I don't think I care about Power Within. So I'm just gonna go. This is probably a bad choice, and I don't usually do this for a reason, but you know what? Sometimes it works out. Like now. There we go. For the record, it was not actually my birthday last week. But I got a bunch of happy birthday messages. Okay. You buy the Pike from Andre, so it's not like it's going to be difficult to get. Yeah. For Pike'll, that makes sense. I should have figured that one, to be honest. Streamer is old and washed. I'm not old. Not yet. Not until my birthday. Then I'll be old. Then I'll understand you calling me old. I'm only in my early 20s. I'm not even in my mid 20s yet. Not for another undisclosed amount of time. I don't think I'm washed. I hope not. My humanity counter is at 0. Ain't even close to old. No, but it's funny. I also like having washed hair. I feel really gross when I don't shower. Certain people would beg to differ, but I feel gross personally. Hello, Milo. Welcome. Do I care about the Grass Crest Shield? I might as well grab it. It's probably a pretty stamina-heavy weapon. Most spears are. You're being censored? Shocker. I wonder what you could possibly be censored because of. It's not like that's a common occurrence or anything. That'd be crazy. Because YouTube is weird and doesn't like showing usernames right now, and is only showing tags for some reason. And it's been doing that for like several months. I still have no idea why. And it seems like it was unintentional at first, but now they're just going with it, so I don't know. It does kind of chew through stamina? Yeah, that's what I figured. Unless they're in nature, then it's chill. I see. Your right-wing political hot takes? Like normal, I see. Come on, you got this. It's like, maybe if I do the spin one more time, it'll catch him off guard. Okay, he tried something different this time. That's what really matters. given effort to switch things up. A right wing to this politic? Yeah. That's exactly what's being said. Okay, really? Mid-roll? Really? Okay, most of my levels are gonna have to go to strength and dexterity, because I need 24 strength and I want 40 dexterity. Out of this Black Knight, they're making progress. They sure are. The Black Knights are very variable. I think specifically the Sword Black Knight is very variable. I personally have problems with all the others, just because pure skill issue. The Great Sword one, I'm really bad at parrying, despite fighting it, like, a lot. But the Axe and Halberd ones, I just don't fight very often. Like, normally I'll push that Halberd one off the cliff, and the one in the place, the dark place. the tomb of the giants. Usually that one just runs off on its own. Insane skill issue. That's crazy. I can take it. Dude, thank you so much. Big boobs like Cat is pretty cool, I agree. I don't know if this is a safe time to heal like it is with Gwen. I feel safe. Hello, Army Productions. Welcome. Nightmares about parrying the Axe Black Knight? Yeah. Elite Speak, Dragon Slayer, Ornstein. Let Leroy kill the Axon? I forgot that you can have an NPC fight that one. Usually what I'll do is I'll carefully make my way down to that specific Necromancer. Hey, no. I'll make my way down to that specific Necromancer. And then kill the 2 or 3 skeletons right next to it, and then just go from there. But it is a very scary Black Knight until you can chain backstab him. It's a safe heal if he keeps backstepping for no reason. That is true. Extremely engaging Dark Souls gameplay. I remember the Bandit doing more damage than this. I think the Cleric is the best for riposting Havel, just because the Mace does strike damage. Actually, in that case, the Deprived might be better. What strength does the Cleric start with? I don't remember Mace requirements. I'm excited for the Deprived run. I think that'll be fun. Just a very clean playthrough with just the club. Scaling is worse on the club? That's surprising. I thought the scaling was better on the club. They're both A scaling and strength, right? Oops. Cleric starts with more strength than Deprived. 12, okay. So one more level. Armpit Productions. That would be an interesting username. But I would agree that the Black Knight Great Axe is also probably my favorite of the weapons. The sword is a close second. Not really a close second, only because I've used it too much, actually. It's onion time. Good luck, Goalie. I know that you don't like the onions, so I hope the onions are not too terrible this time. Hopefully I get a chunk from the other one. Naru having fantasies about Dark Souls men once again. Longsword. Gotta infuse that with fire. We're pivoting. I heard really good things about the club on the internet, actually. I was looking into it this morning on like forum posts and stuff, and saw people saying that the the club kind of carried them. Hello, Loot Crate. Welcome. Okay, well. There we go. You want to like the Black Knight sword, but you don't like the guard. That's fair. I like it. I like how it looks. Yeah, the normal club. Admittedly, my primary source of information was the Fextra comment section, which probably isn't the most sound resource, but that is also where, like, players who don't know how to play the video game go, right? And somebody said it kind of carried them through ONS. So if somebody who doesn't know how to play the video game was able to get through ONS on their first playthrough with the cult club, you know. The most mid weapon in the entire game. I'm curious. I think I'll like it, honestly, just because of the simplicity of it. I don't know. I think simpler weapons are more fun, just because you can do more with them. Like, I think the mace is a much, much better weapon than, like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of another example. Than, like, what do you call it? The one Leroy uses. Shard. Yeah. Pretty good, but it's also like a baseball bat. I mean, that's the good thing, though, right? Spears are hot. I do, like, genuinely really like how the Pike looks. The Pike has, like, the crimson handle. It looks so good. Yeah, the Grant. But that said, I also do like the Crescent Axe more than any other axe weapon. Is the Crescent Axe an axe class weapon? I actually don't remember. I'm pretty sure it's an axe. Who's Grant? Never heard of that guy. Probably a halberd. It's an axe. Okay, that's what I figured. I think it's a great axe in Demon Souls. You hit the air for some reason. Oops, that's not the button I meant to press. Time to buy 1,000 of these. Okay. Can I even wield this? I think I need 16 strength. Heavy? It is heavy. Love to see it. Okay, there we go. Now I can upgrade the weapon. Dragon lair, but with a different word. Yeah, that would make sense that it wouldn't go through. Yeah, I love the color on the handle. I think that genuinely looks really, really good. Especially the way it contrasts with the metal on the tip. Genuinely one of the best looking weapons in the game. Oof. That damage doesn't speak wonders, but your opinion on soup? Soup in general? Oh my god, that running attack goes so far. If we're talking soup in general, kind of, not negative, but leaning toward the negative side of neutral. I think in general, soup is one of the worst ways to consume food. But that also might just be a texture thing from being autistic. But there are specific kinds of soup that I like a lot. The running attack is going to get you smacked at some point? Absolutely it is. As a positive being the only long spear that's infeasible? I mean, would you not consider the winged spear long? Bread tastes better than key. What's your opinion on bread and water soup? Largely negative. It might also just be because I've had bad soups though, to be fair. A lot of the soups, not all the soups, admittedly, but most soup I've had in my life has been fairly greasy, which is not a positive. The infamous Pike charge. Magnificent. Okay, I need eight of these, which I don't have the souls for yet. Oops, not that one. We do unspeakable acts for a pasty. What is a pasty? Unless you mean pastry. More of those, reinforce. I am not going to need to buy any large shards today. Normal spear is short, wing spear is in the middle, and only long spear. The only long spears are the pike, the silver spear, and the demon spear. Also the moonlight butterfly horn, right? Moonlight butterfly horn is the same length as the demon spear, and they're the longest weapons in the game. And the spear is, the silver knight spear is second, if I remember correctly. A pasty is a turnover meat pie. Okay. A fried pie filled with stew. Interesting. Oh my god. Using the longest attack in the game. Incredible. No. Okay, I need to go higher so I don't die. Can you move, please? Jesus. Come back up here. Oh my god. Moonlight butterfly horn, if I remember correctly, was fairly underwhelming. I mean, obviously, it's a pure magic weapon. At least that's not split damage, though. That is a positive. You spear and think someone's talking about you. They are. Yeah, parrying on stairs is a little funky. What's the best spear? Probably the pike or the winged spear. Thank you for having a hobby. I have a friend. I completely forgot about this. I haven't talked to that guy in forever. I had a friend who I used to play games with all the time. I met him. I think I went to school with him for a bit, but didn't actually know him in school because he was a little bit younger than me. Is he younger or older? I think he was younger than me. He was in a different grade than me, is the point. But I never actually met him in school, but he would he would always choke his friends. He wasn't into it. Like, it wasn't like, you know, his thing. But he always said that choking people was a hobby. Speak language barrier. Keep writing like the German word, which is spear, and I constantly correct yourself. No need for disrespecting your spear, but it's bad. Unfortunately, your spear is arguably the worst spear in the game. Moonlight butterfly horn, your spear, and the demon spear. No, demon spear is probably just kind of objectively better. Unfortunately. Like, I don't mean to disrespect, but unfortunately, your spear is not good. What's the hobbies of that friend now? I don't know. He went to like a army camp. I forgot what they're called, boot camp or whatever. So partially because of that, I haven't talked to him in a while. Does this count as counter damage? That's crazy if that's counter damage. Oh no, I have to do Super Ornstein in this run. The Dragon Slayer Spear might be good in Dark Souls 2. I've heard good things, but in Dark Souls 1, it's pretty bad. That's a top 3 spear. Top 3 spears, Wing Spear, Pike, and I don't know actually what the third one would be, to be honest. Probably just the spear. Spear's pretty good. Get it early. It's pretty powerful when you get it. Or at least, you know, like the lightning spear. Just because of the pre-infusion, I think the spear itself is higher ranked. Why do I hate Super Ornstein? Because it has some of the worst hitboxes in the game. And also has one of the most annoying movesets in the game. Yeah, don't think you can buff the DS2 version. Yeah, I don't think you can buff most boss weapons. Silver Knight Spear rocks. I don't like the Silver Knight Spear. Like, it's fine. It's definitely overrated. The best use for it by far is just fighting Nito. And then after that, it's kind of useless. Favorite spear in Dark Souls 1 is Dragon Slayer arrow. That's totally fair. I still need to do a run with great bows. I've never used great bows in this game. Mostly because I picked one up one time, hit the fire button, and it took 10 minutes. And an enemy from the other side of the level killed me. That I didn't even know was aggroed on me. That's a joke. But they are incredibly slow. Ornstein Spear had Super Ornstein's broken hitboxes. It would be a lot better of a weapon. Hasn't been a boss weapon in Dark Souls 2 that you haven't been able to buff so far. Oh no, I'm probably thinking of infusions. You can't infuse any boss weapons. I don't know. Good way for dex builds to deal with skellies. Yeah, but like, you don't need to deal with skellies. I don't know. Like, for a first playthrough, for sure. I think the divine weapons are very useful in a first playthrough. Beyond that, I think dealing with skeletons is such a non-issue that any weapon that is good because of a divine modifier immediately becomes not good because of that anymore. I wish Moonlight Greatsword could be buffed. Moonlight Greatsword would be so much better if you could buff it in Dark Souls 2. I wanted to do a run with Blue Flame and Moonlight Greatsword, but then I learned that you couldn't buff Moonlight Greatsword, so I switched to Blue Flame and Ice Rapier, and that was a lot more fun. I want to do Blue Flame and Dark Moon Greatsword though. I think that'd be a fun run. Quite a few boss weapons can be used. There's something with certain weapons and buffing that I am simply not remembering then. What are you doing here? Go away. The Scythe of Want can't be buffed, yeah. I remember the Bow of Want being like really, really not good sometimes, and then other times being like just the best bow in the game for certain uses, and I think that's really funny. Puzzling Stone Sword is the single best weapon in Dark Souls 2. Don't say it's not true or I'll cry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That scaling a dex does not do it any favors. I really want to do a playthrough with the Puzzling Stone Sword, but it's so... like, there's so many other weapons. I will eventually, but Ruby should go mainstream. I mean, yeah, the problem with that is that the mainstream Souls community, while they may be largely accepting, are not primarily queer, and that's scary. Stone Sword, like Minecraft? Yeah, like Minecraft. But yes, if you're enjoying the stream, I would very much appreciate a like, for algorithm reasons, so I can get money and continue living. Also because it lets me know that I'm doing the right thing and all that. Nick wants a promotion. He was going. Convert them into open-minded and kind people. Yeah, crack all their eggs. Oh god. I actually, genuinely, I'm pretty sure the chat rate does influence like metrics and algorithm stuff. So typing I liked would genuinely help the algorithm. Onions are done. Congratulations. I'm proud of you for getting the onions done. You liked it first? Most of the cool stuff is hard to get in Dark Souls 2? Like what? Like genuinely. I find most things in Dark Souls 2 really easy to get. The only exceptions I can think of are like... Oops. I genuinely am having a hard time thinking of oh my god, a hard time thinking of exceptions. My finger slipped because I was trying to think of Dark Souls 2 instead of Dark Souls 1. Yeah, being trans also made me a much better person. A8 Ziegmeyer, rest in peace. It's really funny that you spelled Ziegmeyer like that. Blue Flame? Blue Flame is, yeah, from an NPC, an invader, or not an invader, but a Black Phantom New Game Plus NPC. But you can also just use aesthetics for it. And like, I would argue that because of that, like, you just get it really early. And even the Undead Crypt, right? You kill the Rotten a couple times and then go like 3 bosses and you're at the... You're in the crypt, right? Oh my god, I pressed the wrong button. This is scary. Let me out. Ugh. It's fine. Okay, this is not counter damage. So it is genuinely just headshot damage. Certain weapons... Is it thrusting attacks specifically that get headshot damage? Really? I know bows can get headshot damage. What? How did you do that? That's not fair. Okay, well, that's tragic. Don't use the running attack. Got it. My bad. Who would eat a person? You... I was gonna say more, but I think that answers the question, actually. The biggest Covenant hater? You know what? That's fair, actually. New Game Plus Plus Covenant spells are tragic. Like, let me use Wrath of the Gods in New Game. That's very understandable. Here we go. Do I have a bone? I don't. Can I buy a bone? I want to save these souls if I can, because I need to do a lot of leveling. Well, this is not where I meant to land. I love that this little ledge literally only exists so if you fall on that grate, you don't have to go down. Easiest are bones as seasoning. The problem with standing far away and poking them is that it's harder to aim. So why would I do that and miss half my pokes when I could just get a little bit closer and not get hit anyway? Instant no telegraph attack, yeah. God, I love Noble Presence. What a good game. Yeah, you cannot buy bones. This is tragic. Okay, well. I'm gonna get this to +10. Gonna go get the very large ember. Or you get the bones and fire link. Yeah, but that's so far away. I'm like, it's not that big of a deal. Oh, I need to go kill the Great Sword Black Knight too. YouTube censors conversations about long pork. Okay. Never thought I'd read those words. Okay, one more level in strength, and then I can start leveling dexterity. Yeah, I'm very excited to actually start streaming Dark Souls 2. There's so many things that Dark Souls 2 did better. Yeah, can't eating brains, like human brains, get you, like, extremely sick? Uncurably extremely sick? Any weapons I want to do for any... So I'm gonna... I wanted to do... Okay, next month. Not like calendar month, but next 4 streams I do after next week are going to be redos of streams that I've already done in Dark Souls 1. namely the Claymore, because I did that with a Chaos Infusion, and I want to do just a normal Claymore run, because I think that'd be more fun. And then for... and then Velka's Rapier, because I did not do that weapon justice. The Dragon Bone Fist, because I was very bad at the video game when I did that run. And the Four-Pronged Plow, because my internet just stopped functioning when I was doing that stream. And then I want to do the Scythe one more time, like the Bardiche in Sense Purchase, because that was the very first weapon I ever streamed. And then when I start Dark Souls 2, I want to do the Scythe as well. I want to start with the Scythe. And then I have a poll of 4 weapons lined up, and I do not at all remember what they are. I think one of them was the Dragon Slayer Axe. They were all like very easy early game weapons to get, but that I thought would still be interesting to use. So you'll see that in a couple months. Or probably in about a month and a half. Speaking of upcoming stuff, I have a video coming out tomorrow that is at 9 a.m. tomorrow. So in like, hold on, let me do math. 18 hours. And I have a video coming out in like 18-ish hours that is not a Dark Souls video, but is a challenge run. And I hope it does well, and because I'm like really proud of it. I don't know. I'm proud of what I did with it. I thought it was a really fun video. You should watch that when that comes out. Is censored a way to cook something? YouTube does that sometimes. Need a tutorial on how to use the spear in PvP without people leaving death threats on your Steam profile afterwards. So the easiest solution to that is to not play Dark Souls PvP. I think that will solve your problem. Howling Halberd from Skeleton Lords. One run that I really want to do is a Ruin Sentinels cosplay. I don't think you can get their not their halberd, but their pole hammer. But there is a Lucerne type weapon that you buy from Welliger. Chancellor Welliger. Is it Welliger or Welliger? I remember it was the one that I thought was stupid, but then I started pronouncing it correctly, and now I don't remember which one it is. Anyway, there's a Lucerne type weapon that you can get from him. And I wanted to do that. Any hints to the vid? It's a game that is coming out tomorrow. It is a 3D platformer. Are the non-scaling infusions and like lightning and fire any good in Dark Souls 1? No. There are uses for them. Like the lightning spear you can get in Sens is really good for the snakes. It's also probably half decent for like, I don't know, like the giant blacksmith hammer, because it doesn't scale. At least doesn't scale well. Words are hard. Is fairly decent for soul level 1, especially against enemies like Seath, who are weak to lightning and strike. But generally, no. The Ruined Sentinels wield the Drake Keeper hammer? I didn't know that. A German phrenology? I know he says his name in the game, or at least someone says his name, which is why I knew it was the one that I didn't like pronouncing. Ornstein? Is it Ornstein? I think common consensus has changed the pronunciation. God, it would be so cool to have a shield weapon in Dark Souls 2 you can just toss. Like the crystal ring shield. But yeah. But like with the Smith's grip style weapons from Elden Ring. That'd be really cool. Okay, see you later. I can't choke yet. I need one more level in strength. How much damage does that do? That's half decent. Can't say anything. the kanji in the Japanese release have it pronounced Ornstein. It could be like a language difference though, right? I'm not sure if there are like diphthongs in Japanese though. It's actually the Ornstein Bears. True. Okay, I'm gonna switch my personal chat view to live because I'm curious. Oh my god. Yeah, I feel like saying to the streamer until you die or something. Wait until you die. I think it makes sense that YouTube would block that, to be honest. Even if you mean in the video game. Because they don't know that. The Rune Sentinels are one of my favorite bosses in the game. If not the trilogy. Ornstein should be pronounced like Ramstein. And Smo is Smo because sumo. Is this true, Smo? Okay, I'm gonna come over here and backstab it before I mess up a parry on the triple slash and get obliterated. Don't fall. I want the chance for the chunk so I don't have to go all the way to Orlando. Plus 15. Okay, never mind. There are 3 Ruin Sentinels with names, despite there being... I think there's only 7 in the game, actually. There's the 3 boss ones and then the 4 in the room. No, there's 5 in that room, aren't there? I don't remember. Smuff. Or Goff. I guess that makes sense, yeah. But, no. They should draw Rune Sentinels Yuri. I really hope that already exists. Damn, no chunk. This is tragic. I'll just have to wait for Anne Orlando for that. I kind of want RTSR. I feel like RTSR would be good. Orange, Stain, and Smudge. True. Smo is actually pronounced Smosh. Dragon Rider Carol and Dragon Rider Damien. Okay, I don't think I have a bone yet, so... Goodbye, my souls. You will be missed. I'm alive. Literally never even worried about dying. I do want to try killing a couple more of the Dark Wraiths, that's what they're called. I don't know how much this will increase damage. Quite a bit. I just want a chunk. That's all I want. I don't even want a slab. Oh, hi. Oh. You know what? That's fine. I don't care. Yeah, I was just setting up for RTSR, yeah. I've had it on live for a while, so. Okay, I'm gonna use these. I'm gonna get 24 strength. gonna get as much dexterity as I can. Not your personal view? Oh no, I can't do that. Unfortunately, I cannot do that. Actually, I don't think I'm like literally capable of doing that. Yeah. I don't know. I think most of what has been censored does make sense. YouTube doesn't have the context of surrounding messages. Just use different words other than wait until you die. Say like wait until you lose in the game or something. I don't know. Liking and subbing and being gay. I think everyone should do that. I think that is a correct choice. Well, it didn't censor that one. I did know that there's a fish called a pike, yes. In fact, time to call respawning resting. I forgot. Let me out. The world's longest running attack. I guess it's not as bad as the pike. Or the four-prong plow, I mean. Ornstein is not topping. This is gonna be a long straight demon fight. I feel like this is one of those weapons that's gonna be god-awful until I get it maxed out with good stats. And then it's just gonna be like a lot better than I expected. It does have the, at soft caps, it has the highest damage of any spear. Oh, well. Highest AR of any spear, anyway. I did check that on my other profile. Pardon, I was taking the thumbnail screenshot. Is that 3 hits? If you can land it, is that 3 hits? That's 3 hits. No, why did nobody tell me this? Okay, so I had a video idea a long time ago to see if I could one-shot every boss in the game with move swap, and I didn't think it was possible because I could only get 2 hits on the Demon Fire Sage, and even with the Great Scythe, which does slash and bleed, and did the most damage by far, 2 hits was just barely not enough. And this whole time, the Pike does 3 hits on its running attack? Okay. Well, I have to go back to that video and actually make it. I don't think some bosses will be possible, but the plow running attack or running heavy? Is that, I don't think there are running heavies in this game. Anyway, I do want to do that video. I don't think some bosses will be possible. Like, I don't think 4 Kings will be possible, but anyway. You're very welcome to make that poll in the Discord, Vin. Excuse me. Okay. I need dexterity. I think it gets to DB. Yeah, it's DC right now. It'll be DB once I get to plus 15. I need to go kill the Great Sword Black Knight real quick. From Software seems to think that if you get impaled by a spear, you get stabbed 5 or 6 individual times. It's true. From experience. if you're impaling someone and have really shaky hands. If you're attempting to slowly and carefully impale someone and have really shaky hands, you will probably get stabbed multiple times. Or they will probably get stabbed multiple times. How many internal organs does a spear penetrate? Ideally, at least 5 or 6. I think I could get this to plus 13. There we go. Okay, to the Great Sword Black Knight for the other chunk, and then boss rush time. Yeah, 5 to 6 hits, exactly. There's the poll in the Discord server. Probably, if it exists. The backstab animation for pull weapons in Dark Souls 2. I agree. That's the one where they pick up the enemy, right? If it's okay on YouTube, it's okay in the normal chats. That's what I've been going with in terms of moderation on my Discord server. You could get up to 6 or 7, potentially. Oh my... What? I'm so sad. And now the gate's gonna be closed. Oh wait, no, that actually would be a good thing if the gate was closed at this point. Sorry, I read buff women and blacked out. Hmm. You're not sorry? You shouldn't be. Ow. I read women and blacked out. Okay, ideally, I won't get stabbed this time. I will actually attempt to dodge this time, which should help a bit. How many votes have been given already? People are changing their answers. The funniest answer is the correct one, which would still be Ornstein. Okay, gargoyles time. I can't imagine this will be a very difficult gargoyles fight. Okay. That's impossible to aim. I don't know why I even try. Fairness is beautiful. I agree. Great people are so cool. These are objects? I didn't know that. That's interesting. Oh. Ow. What am I doing? I have range. I think, genuinely, just because I have range, it's safer to take out these guys than to run past like I normally do. Playing Dark Souls 1 without you? Well, I mean, it's kind of your fault that you weren't here. I should heal. Any genuine intimacy is beautiful. The problem with saying that, in my opinion, in a space like this, not that it's bad to say that, I don't want that to come off the wrong way, but the problem with forwarding that specifically is that I think queer intimacy, or even queerness in general, regardless of whether or not that queerness is in any relation to intimacy at all, is that queer intimacy is so much more like, you know, in history, kind of considered taboo, as opposed to straight intimacy, which is just generally accepted as beautiful, you know? So while I agree, I don't think it's worth bringing up. At least not for now. Getting bullied because of the poll? If you think it's getting bullied, that's a skill issue. Frankly. As a proud bottom. This is not a semantics argument? I don't understand what you mean. Yeah, it is very much like all lives matter, I agree. Not to the point where all lives matter is, because the weird right-wing virtue signaling that comes with all lives matter, but same idea with that, for sure. Queer as in sexualities and identities that stray from the norm. Let's switch it. I make fun of straight people. Only if they're okay with that. I have made insensitive jokes unintentionally. That is not my goal. But you know, I was told that it was insensitive and did stop, obviously, because I try to be a decent person. But I do make fun of straight people sometimes because I think it's funny. I think you are missing a big part of the history, Hawk. It originally, like, the word queer effectively meant the same thing as weird, right? Like, definitionally. And then it was used to marginalize, you know, queer identities. And then now it's been reclaimed by the queer community to mean, again, identities and sexualities that stray from the norm. So non-cis het people are queer by definition. And because it's been reclaimed, it is no longer really able to be used to attack. It's not a slur anymore. It's not used like the F slur. It can't be used like the F slur anymore. And even the F slur is being reclaimed to a point. Like, I don't think it'll... I think the F slur will always be kind of like a... You're only allowed to say it if it applies to you kind of thing. But queer is a word that most queer people are okay with everybody using, right? Because it's just easier. As opposed to saying non-cis het people or whatever. One of them queers. Yeah, it doesn't come off as a slur anymore. I feel like not every word can be used as a slur. I feel like there are exceptions to that. It's fucking strawberry time. Those goddamn strawberries. That's a great example of a word that can be used as a slur. Queer folk? I feel like... That feels like... I'm trying to find a way to word this. Because I know a lot of what I'm about to say is ignorant. Because I haven't really looked into it. But as someone who is 100% okay with the term queer, I think that queer folk kind of give me the same vibes as folks with an X, because at this point, in terms of like general usage, folks, like KS instead of with an X, is already gender neutral, you know? That gives me the same vibes as that, I guess. Do I make rice at 1 a.m. in the morning, or do you go to bed without a second food in your system? Rice is pretty good. Yeah, that's basically what I was going for. Again, I think that my opinion is rooted in ignorance because I don't know why people started using folks. Like, it is definitely a thing that if it makes you uncomfortable, then it makes sense to ask people to not use it when referring to you. But coming up with a word that is explicitly non-gendered as opposed to a word that is implied to be non-gendered just by basic usage is I don't want to say weird to me, but personally, I don't quite get it. It genuinely is strawberry. Yeah, I know. I'm aware that you do in fact have a strawberry time. I just thought it was funny. You keep getting censored. Yeah. Good night, Nara. Thank you for being here while you could. Hope you sleep well. Was a rainbow person? That one's really funny. I'm gonna put that in my I'm gonna put that in my Discord bio. Is using that a sign of being stupid? No? What? No? That's not at all what we were going for. It's just like it feels like again, from my perspective as someone who is not, or who considers folks with a KS to be an inherently ungendered term. It feels like it's coming from people who specifically have a gender to that term, despite there not being one. And again, if that makes you uncomfortable, like if the word with a KS makes you uncomfortable to be referred to, then it makes sense to ask people to not use that for you. But I personally don't understand why it would make someone uncomfortable. You should start using strawberry as a slur. You should. Rudy Trouts. Me if I was a trout. That's Silver Age quality. As someone who knows nothing about Silver Age comics. Queer just doesn't come off as a slur anymore to me. Like, you can use it as a slur, but like, queer just doesn't come off as a slur to me. Those fucking queers. That just sounds funny to me. I don't know. I would argue not only insensitive, but also insensitive primarily because of ignorance. As someone who is made uncomfortable by being called a human, you know, I want to clarify that because that sounds fucking insane. If you don't know me very much, it's one of those things that like doesn't actually offend me, but it's like, that doesn't feel right. And I definitely get why that would happen with folks with a KS. I think it comes from a misunderstanding of the use of the terminology. more than anything. But, you know, gonna aggressively human gender me. That's fucked up. Strawberry was actually used as a slur? That's crazy. Have you ever not done the lore kill? I have done a normal ceaseless kill on stream, but I don't remember what stream. It was fairly recent, but I don't remember what stream it was. No, but if someone was referring to me as a human, I would prefer they would use a different word. Like, if they said person instead of human, you know? And like, again, if somebody calls me a human, which doesn't happen very often, this is like one of the few things that I can relate to in that aspect. If somebody calls me a human, I'm not going to be offended or upset or whatever. It's like, just not what I prefer. It's because folks with an X was specifically designed to not have a gender, as opposed to folks with a KS that is probably for the same reason that man is like non-gendered human, but is still very gendered. Like in some people's minds, folks with a KS does come off as gendered for the same reason, right? Generally the entity. Cool. Love to see it. We love entities here. Oh my god, I've been doing a playthrough of Demon Souls. With the War Scythe, which I want to do a stream of still, from that poll that I did a long time ago. I want to do 2 Demon Soul streams, but I don't know what I want the other one to be. I definitely want to do War Scythe. Maybe Battle Axe for the other one. That'd be fun. Anyway, I want to do 2 more Demon Soul streams, along with a Dark Souls randomizer and a Dark Souls 1 Deathless run. Over the next 4 weeks, as I am doing the redos of runs. And I want to do the War Scythe and probably the Battle Axe because I think that'd be fun. Anyway, when you block and stand still with the War Scythe, the stance that you take is crazy. If you're two-handing the War Scythe and just block and stand still. I like that, Quilly. I agree. I will be using it that way. Think of a family when you hear folks. Like, again, I think that people being made uncomfortable with folks KS is primarily because of just how they personally have heard the word used and not the actual definition and use of the word generally. But I think it does make sense that some people are made uncomfortable by it, even if it does come from personal experience primarily. And instead of actual usage. Actual general usage, I guess, is a better way to put that. There we go. The problem with the other options that you offered, Smo, is that they're used in different scenarios. Folks is used in like its own scenario, right? It's like why we have so many synonyms for so many words. There are specific scenarios that you would want to use those synonyms. And making a specifically non-gendered version for when you are being referred to make you more comfortable. And it's not like only one individual who did this, right? This was like a group thing for like a group of people who felt the same way about this, right? And they come up with this word to use for their circles primarily. Like, it just makes them more comfortable. That's kind of it. Best weapon class? It is treating me as if it is not the best weapon class. Werewolf with wolf. True. Lances are like the cooler version of spears. I hate to say it. Best weapon class is fists. Unironically, fist weapons are overhated. Same with whips. They're fine. What do I think is the worst weapon class? I'm curious about that. I haven't thought about that. Oh my. I guess probably spears, honestly. There just aren't that many good spears, and the good spears that there are kind of superseded by halberds, in my opinion. If you really want that counter damage, the Lucerne has a better moveset. At least for my playstyle, I think the moveset is a lot better. If you want a range, again, halberds just kind of do that just as well, if not better in some cases. He gonna get stuck? Oh my god, he is. He's hanging out up there. What weapon would I say makes a game easiest to beat? The Gargoyle's Halberd, for sure. I think the Gargoyle's Halberd is just the best game. The best weapon in the game, full stop. Black Knight Halberd by far. Absolutely not. What? The Gargoyle's Halberd is just the Black Knight Halberd, but better. Like, I guess you don't need to get the Embers, but if you're doing a casual run, the Gargoyle's Halberd by far. Especially because then you can use weapon buffs on things that are particularly challenging for you. He's floated. He has indeed floated. My favorite weapon? The scythe. I don't know if that's true anymore, actually, now that I think about that. I'd have to think about that to give you a better answer. My answer has been, for the past, 4 years, has been the scythe, but I'm not sure if that's changed after actually finally using every single weapon in the game. I'll have to get back to you on that one. The Black Knight Halberd has such high requirements too. I forgot about that. Yeah, for my playstyle specifically, halberds just feel like better spears. And I think for range, counter damage, for range and counter damage, I think the Lucerne just does it better. Because you don't lose out on so much damage for that range. If you want something like shield poking, I guess spears are the best option, but shield poking just eats your stamina so much that there are so few scenarios where that would be useful in. And most of the time, just throwing on Havels and pressing R1 is going to do better for you than shield poking, right? Oh wait, hold on. Dark Souls 2 is the only game that lets you shield poke with halberds? Really? Dark Souls 3 doesn't? That's crazy. I didn't know that. What is a J-Rose 11? Demon Souls does actually have a War Scythe. The Bardiche is only called the Scythe in Dark Souls 1 and 2, I'm pretty sure. Because I'm pretty sure in Dark Souls 3 it's the Glaive, right? Maybe addicted to Dark Souls 1? I mean, it's my favorite game of all time. I beat it on average once a week, but it recently has been at least twice a week. His main claim to notoriety is he's doing Gen 1 with every weapon. I mean, or every Pokemon, sorry. I misread that completely. There is someone who is doing all bosses with all weapons, and I'm not doing that. I'm just doing like a semi-casual playthrough with every weapon, because I don't think there's much value for me to be had in... Oh my god, I measured it perfectly. I'm so good at this game. Um, I don't think there's much there's much value in fighting the gaping dragon, as well as Calamite in every single playthrough, you know. But not modify. I want to reinforce. There we go. Plus 15. No, I am not addicted to Dark Souls 1. I am excited to begin playing Dark Souls 2 instead. Yeah, Dark Souls 3 rolls back on a lot of really good changes Dark Souls 1 made, or 2 made, rather. Also probably Dark Souls 1. Dark Souls 3 is Dark Souls 1 if it was bad. Dark Souls 1 is a comfort game, I agree. This is for sure my biggest comfort game. Okay. Super Ornstein. I need to do Phase 2 Ornstein. So I don't accidentally, oh my god, immediately start attacking Ornstein instead of Smo. Because it's just so much easier to do. Ornstein, calm down. You'll get your turn in a sec. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. He's being so much more aggressive than usual. Valley Souls 3 because it's not peak. True. I'm gonna heal again. Just for safety. I think the rolling attack will be good for Super Ornstein. Just because pokes are so annoying to land on that phase. There we go. Alright, good boss. I didn't rest? DSR gadget. And Orlando, interior bonfire. I lit it, but I didn't rest. I have fought Super Ornstein for several hours cumulatively. I still hate it. I've beaten the fight a lot. I also spent 20 minutes in one fight with him, which was not fun. Alright, first try, here we go. No, lighting bonfires does unlock them for warping. I'm like 90% sure. Don't attack Ornstein. How dare you let me forget. Chat, come on. It doesn't? I always thought it did. Because I remember there were bonfires, oh my goodness, that I would specifically go out of my way to light, but not rest at so that I could warp to them later. Okay, calm down. Jesus. One more poke. Oh my goodness. You know what? Good enough. It's fine. Okay, there we go. Unfortunately, I do have to be mildly locked in for this fight. Just to make sure that I'm rolling at the right time so I don't get hitboxed. Get down from there! Why can't he go up there? I've never seen that before. Okay, well. Oh my god. There we go. Not a huge shield poker, just like spears aesthetically. mean, I don't know. I think some of them look cool. Like, again, I really love the color on the Pike, right? I don't know, I'm trying to think of others that I like. There's... What's the spear that's not actually a spear that you have to break in Dark Souls 2? That was pretty cool. Spears are cool, but they're most commonly used as weapons in war. Yeah. I don't know, there are fancy spears. There are like... Yeah, Saint Tears, that's the name. There are like ornamental and ritual spears, like, in history, right? I would assume, at least. Okay, Perish. The red handle is so weird. That's true. Why do you think it's red? What do you think they made it out of? I mean, it looks like metal. Along with Yorg's. What moveset does Yorg's get? Saint Tears has like the twin blade moveset, right? Is Yorg's like a halberd or twin blade moveset? So wooden shaft painted red. The way it reflects light does look like metal. Oh, you know, I should probably put that weapon on. Yorg's has lance and twin blade mix. Okay. Interesting. Isn't Yorg's spear just kind of worse than Saint Tears? Well, I guess that's true of a lot of weapons, actually. Halberd when unbroken, and mix of twin blade halberd and spear when broken. I really liked the Saint Tears spear. That was a really fun playthrough that I did. I think I made it magic, and then I did the one place with the tower, the magic glittering. The tower, broom tower. I did broom tower early against Dyla and Tila's nest. It only takes a couple minutes to break. The wood handle's flashing because the girl's holding them. Very relatable. Okay, that's decent damage. Yorg's is slower than Saint Tears, but you like both. I really like the Saint Tears spear moveset, but I remember Twin Blades not being super good in Dark Souls 2. I guess there is the Red Iron Twin Blade, which gets considered as one of the better weapons, but as far as I remember, it's not as good as the Scimitar. I do want to do a run with the Red Rust Twin Blade, though. Held back by being primarily slash damage. Wish you were being held, yeah. Very relatable. I did a playthrough of Elden Ring with Twin Blades, and I used mostly the Knight's Twin Swords, and then ended up switching to the normal Twin Blade later on. And they were fairly good. I really liked that playthrough. I haven't used them in Dark Souls 2 yet. Wait, what? I guess I've only done one playthrough with Saint Tears. I know it's a fairly common, or fairly popular weapon, though. So... Yeah, YouTube's censoring a lot today. Which is kind of funny, but also kind of annoying. Will I have the range for this? go. It also might not be stuff getting censored. It could just be server issues with stuff not actually getting sent properly. First time rage baiting. Kind of obvious, but keep up the good work. You'll get there eventually. Bill hooks. Are those the one? Is that like the server? Server. Is the server what I'm thinking of? Like a sword with like a little hook on the end. I feel like there's one in Dark Souls 1, but it might not be the server. Okay, yeah, server. Oh, they're a type of pole arm. Like the... Like a more exaggerated Demon Souls War Scythe kind of thing. I'm on live chat, so a lot of the things that people are saying are getting censored just straight up aren't being sent to chat. So it genuinely probably is just server issues with stuff not showing up. It doesn't seem like it censors with certain things that have been supposedly censored so far. I think of all the games that needed a rusty Iron Ring equivalent, it was Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 1 has one. Dark Souls 2 has like nothing that slows you down. There's a little bit, but really not that much. Dark Souls 3 has a giant swamp that you have to dagger walk through, which was really annoying, and they definitely should have had a rusted Iron Ring in that game. I guess Elden Ring has a little bit, but not that much. There's like... Does the Swamp of Ionia even slow you down? Smoke left because he's going to eat all the YouTube workers? That checks out. Very relatable, F. That's like every other week for me. Well, no, it's all the time, but it gets really, really strong a lot. Elden, the Lake of Rot in Elden Ring doesn't slow you down. There's the Shaded Castle. There's, I think the swamp in the DLC does that, but most swamps in Elden Ring don't slow you down. It's mostly just Dark Souls 3 that has an issue with that. And again, you can just dagger walk. Oh, there is actually the like Rot River down in under Elfil. I did have the crystal knife though. I tend to grab the crystal knife and then forget that I have it when I get to places where I could use it. Elfhael. Elphael. That is a lot of counter damage. God, I wish I had the Lucerne right now. Maybe the Lucerne is my favorite weapon. I don't know. I do have to think about that for sure. Wish the crystal knife wasn't bad, yeah. I wish daggers in general in Elden Ring weren't bad. Okay. I have a lot of endurance, so I think I just want to level health for now. Do I have a lot of endurance? 3 attacks is plenty. I can warp now. God. Gotta be naked. That's crazy that that made it through us. Yeah, it feels like it would be really cool if one-handed the Lucerne did strike and two-handed it did pierce or something. Yeah, the Lake of Rot is such a non-issue though if you know how the rot buildup works, because then you can just roll in the lake and then get out, and then you'll get the really slow version of rot, and you can just sprint straight across it. And even then, you can sprint straight across it as long as you have like 8 healing at most. So I don't think the Lake of Rot can be, or is that big of a deal, full stop. Um, the Rot Waterfall though, that's what I did use the Crystal Knife for in my last playthrough. The Giant Halberd. Yeah, the Giant Halberd is really heavy. That is a fun weapon. I like it a lot. I was really surprised when it had the Glaive moveset instead of the Halberd moveset. I've kind of gone back and forth on the Halberd moveset though, like the normal Halberd moveset. At first I hated it, then I used it and I thought it was kind of okay, but putting basilisks in the Lake of Rot was diabolical. Yeah, that was pretty mean. Miyazaki knew what he was doing. Oh my god. Starting off strong. Surely that's not intentional. I mean, the reason that happened, I assume you're talking about the Lake of Rot thing. The reason that happens is because of how there are several different kinds of like rot buildup. Like that's been the case since Dark Souls 1. Like the toxic bloat snipers do a different kind of toxic from like dung pies due to yourself or whatever. Like even in Dark Souls 1, it was a strategy to toxic yourself with dung pies so you would take less damage from the toxic, rather than getting toxicked on accident by the bloat snipers, right? That's kind of always been a thing. I don't know that it was intentional, but they probably could have fixed it. God damn it. This probably kills me. I don't know how much damage that does. It does not kill me. I wish it would stop using magic attacks. Oh my god. I didn't know that Demon Souls had that, actually. I know it had... Alright, and... I know the status effects in Demon Souls are weird, but I didn't know that there were multiple kinds of the same status in that game. This sucks. This is one of the worst Four Kings fights I've ever had, just because I'm getting unlucky with it using magic attacks. Okay. Really? Gonna open up with one? That's so cool. Alright. For most BS grab, Iron Golem. It's like nothing can compete with the Iron Golem grab. It's because of how big the hitbox is. The Four Kings hitbox isn't that big. If you roll away immediately, you can dodge it pretty easily. But if you're like in the middle of an attack or whatever, it's kind of just unfortunate. It just doesn't deal that much damage though, so it's not that big of a deal. Can you go away? I'm trying to fight this guy. Jesus. I like how I timed that perfectly though, without it being on my screen, because I'm not washed. Streamer's good at the video game. Counter damage doesn't go through on the full health bar, does it? There we go. Is it like how in Dark Souls, the different bleed amounts, or well, I guess there are only 2 bleed amounts on weapons in Dark Souls 1, but like instead of the high, it's the damage over time with the Demon Souls bleed. This is mostly untrue. No, that's mostly true, Arachnid. They really want to show you their perp moves, yeah. Got me a chance to show off, I guess. So, like, you know, what else can you ask for? Oh, true. The Gaping Dragon grab attack is pretty awful. But you can mash out of the Gaping Dragon grab attack and not take damage. The problem with Iron Golem is it can just kill you instantly no matter what you do if you get unlucky. So I would still argue that the Iron Golem is still the worst grab attack by far. The Dung Pie thing, yeah, all the different like damage and or toxic poison and whatever types are all intentional through the games. Yeah, the Gaping Dragon doesn't use its grab attack very often, but it's usually when you're attacking it from the side, which, you know, doesn't happen super often. Ruby marks our territory. Mm-hmm. Oh, like they specifically made it so that you could toxic yourself and get a lower toxic? That's really cool, actually. I didn't know that it was intentional on part of the developers. And that's why they dropped Dung Pie, like the barbarians dropped Dung Pie in Blighttown. That's really cool. Okay. Surprising amount of damage to the boars. Member tier incidents. No comment. No alternate feelings or motives. None at all. You want to normalize it for yourself or for your partners? Good job, Ria. Blighting my town and Blighttown. Okay, so now that where are you going? Now that I actually have this leveled up properly, and have good levels to use it, yeah, this is a solid weapon. Hitbox. Like the developers of this game, no level on game design or something? That'd be crazy. It's like they knew for this game and then completely forgot later. Crazy that the developers of Dark Souls 1 were like the same team. Not, well, I don't know actually how much of a development team they share, but same people who made Dark Souls 1 were the same people who made Dark Souls, or Elden Ring. That's crazy. My PFP is yellow for exactly the reason that you think it is. I forgot to put on the Hornet Ring. Oh. Oh well. Bonk. I think it's funny that YouTube doesn't know to censor boink. First. I put on the wrong... Put on the wrong ring. Damn it. I put on the wrong ring. That's crazy. Um, 1 second. Um, what is it called? A purging stone? Hold on. Usable items. Where is that? Consumables. Um, purging stone. Skill issue. True. That is a skill issue. I guess that's what the clams are for. Thinking about it. I will drop my rare ring of sacrifice. There we go. Professional, by the way. True. Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. I should have... Wait, hold... Come back! This is why I hate mid-roll. Okay. Wish it didn't heal you. I wish you had to press one button and then sit down. I wish you had to press one more button than the game expects you to. Oops. Okay. Don't hit that one again. Okay. No, not that one. Come on. You got this. No, not that one. There we go. Gonna add you for an hour again. She would. I mean, it's not like I don't have humanity. It's just that I have had no reason to use my humanity. So my humanity counter is low because I haven't healed with my humanity. Hey, humanity. Speaking of boinking, Patricia Taxon is pretty cool. If you haven't watched Patricia Taxon and you are queer and or a furry or adjacent, highly recommend. Genuinely. Oh my god! Okay, that kills me. Oops. I meant to backstab, but I did a running attack. That's tragic. Boinked too close to the sun. Went too deep. Oh my god, it's raining. It's raining really hard. I was wondering what I was hearing. It's been not like dry, but it hasn't been raining that much the past few days. Someone beating the game with only the Pike's running attack? Yeah. I've seen that and the four-prong plow. Okay. Don't pull the lever out of pure instinct. That would probably... Or that would never be a thing that I did, ever. Excuse me, please. Excuse me. Cool. Girl prongs. Whoa. Oh yeah. I am gonna redo the four-prong plow run. Okay, well, come on. I want to get at least one of them out of the way. Press continue. Press continue probably did one of those. At this point, in my brain, press, Baron's Castle, and Lemon. All their videos are entirely interchangeable, and all by the same person. There we go. I believe I died twice in the Pasaka room. It's not the most that I've died here, but... Come on. There we go. I don't know, I feel weird talking about this because it is like the same community that I'm in, but I feel like a lot of the most popular challenge runs, and I don't know if this is just because of like how I view them, but or how I have experienced them rather, because of the context that I experienced them in. But I feel like a lot of challenge runs are very samey, and it makes it really hard to watch challenge runs now. Basically have the same humor. Point to that lizard. Oh. Wish Dark Souls had a player model that looks like you can make one, silly. That's the whole point of the character creator. It's a very flexible character creator, like shockingly, especially for that time. It's not as flexible as like Elden Rings, I guess, but unless you mean a blue fox. But you can still make a character with trigger that is blue. No BBW? I mean, the very large is close. It's not there, but it's close. Doing the same run with every weapon in the game? Yeah, but I don't like frame it differently. It's not like, can I beat the video game with this extremely normal weapon? And then make the exact same jokes every time. I mean, I do make the same jokes every time, but I don't do both things. That's what I was getting at. Yeah, it's true. The very large body type not having stretch marks is kind of a crime. Looks like they've been stretched out by a pulley. I disagree. There we go. Large lower body is where it's at. I like very large more. Do I have better looking? I can't. No, yes I can. This isn't a starting weapon, or yeah, starting equipment run. Damn. There we go. Oh my god, I didn't know the side went that far down. That's crazy. I always wear it with other stuff. I've never noticed it does that. Oh my goodness. Voxels would be peak. Oh my god, if I was good at 3D animation, I would make that so fast. Ugh. I need to like find someone who's good at animating and then befriend them. And then convince them to help me make a video game for our friendship, and definitely not for any other reason. If I had money, I would pay someone to do that so fast. You know that that dinosaur hack and slash game? When is that coming out? I know there was a demo for it recently, but yeah, true. The games do need bigger tummies. Beat visible viewership skyrocketing. It did go up by like, well, okay, the concurrent viewer count fluctuates a lot, but I'm just gonna pretend that it was not coincidental and it was 100% because I put this on. Went up by like 6 people. Actually, a lot of people stay because of how freaky chat is too. Strawberries are done. Congratulations. Glad you got through the strawberries. Feel happy to be here as your strawberry cutting entertainment. I'm very honored. Being hypersexual is so cool. It's kind of difficult for me to like show that on like YouTube. But I don't know. I try to be as much the opposite of prudish as I can. If we were more hinged. Yeah, true. Okay, that is not worth the stamina at all. That's good damage, though. Uh-oh. I need more stamina. Your ace just think the jokes are funny? That is the most ace statement I've ever heard in my life. I don't know. I try to be, like, very... I don't even know how to put it. Very sex positive. Because purity culture is the worst thing to happen to me. Finished your current audiobook series? You've probably heard me talk about it before, and I don't remember if you were part of the discussion, but if you haven't listened to the Wandering Inn audiobooks, they are very peak. Okay, what have chaos time? Your brain feels like scrambled eggs right now? Well, I'm glad I can help. Apartment complex. Seems pretty simple to me. Scramble my eggs. It's Greg's. 0.61. I don't know them by their numbers, to be honest. What volume would that be? Approximately. Scrambled eggs. Scramped. What is that from? I don't remember. I don't remember what the joke was originally. I know it was milk. I think it says like what volume certain web serial chapters are. But I don't know them off the top of my head. Machine is churning. Oh, damn it. Book 14. I think I'm on 16? I don't remember. Phoenix for you. I've heard really good things about Sanderson and his books. And I really, really tried to get into The Way of Kings and just could not do it. For the same reason that I never got into Lord of the Rings. It's just so hard to read for no reason. That's the whole thing. Is it like a screenshot with messages or something? Scrambled Griggs. One saying cramped or something in their mouth. No, it's cramped. It's different. Have I tried Mistborn? I have no idea what Mistborn is. The only author, the only author that I was recommended and very much enjoyed, was T. Kingfisher, and I remember reading the first book of his because my partner at the time was super excited for it, and I read it, and I didn't like it that much. I think it was Nettle and Bone. I'm pretty sure it was Nettle and Bone, because I remember also reading Shadow and Bone like right after. Um, but I read Nettle and Bone and thought it was like kind of an underwhelming dark fantasy story. But I read What Moves the Dead as well, and I really liked that. A couple of other of his books, or of their books, and enjoyed them quite a bit. Lord of the Rings is super accessible if you just have the time. I mean, it's not that it's not accessible, it's just boring to read. Because he just redoes the same thing, or resays the same thing over and over, and it's so difficult to just get past, you know? Paladin's Grace? Yeah, I remember hearing really good things about Paladin's Grace, but I haven't read it yet. I do genuinely really highly recommend What Moves the Dead. It's really good. Shadow and Bone is such a funny series to me. um, it's really, really good. I love Lee Bardugo's books, especially Six of Crows. Six of Crows is incredible. um, but in the books, I think the Darkling is like really well characterized as a villain and comes off as genuinely intimidating and like for his own benefit. And then in the Netflix series, it's turned completely on its head. They combine Shadow and Bone and Six of Crows, and then I forgot about Kirk. And then they just never go into Crooked Kingdom or anything because it got canceled. But the way they characterize the Darkling, he's such like a gray character. He's obviously like trying to better the world exclusively. And it's so funny to me that they still try to characterize him as a villain. Also glacially slow for a lot of it. Yeah. I'm just gonna send Kark back home. I need to read more. There's so many good books that I want to read and reread, and I just haven't. I really want to read House of Leaves, but I need to like read that physically. Anyone tried reading Wheel of Time? Ria's mom is actually into that, and I wanted to read it because of that, but I haven't gotten into it yet. I bought the first book on Audible and just haven't read more of it. I haven't read it yet. It's hard for me to read books because a lot of the time that I'll like play a game or something and also want to listen to something in the background. It'll only be for like, you know, an hour or so. And at that point, I just kind of want a few relatively short YouTube videos or something. I should start reading more. I also like try to talk to people, which makes it really hard to read while doing that, you know? That's so not good. I should not be using that button. Oops. Okay. Moving through the Izalith fairly fast, actually. I guess sprinting past everything makes that happen. Whenever I read Wheel of Time, I think of Wrinkle in Time. And that reminds me of how terrible of an author. What's her name? Madeline L'Engle is? This is so out of left field and stupid. Madeleine L'Engle and C.S. Lewis are two children's authors who I think occupy a very similar space with Chronicles of Narnia and the Wrinkle in Time series, whatever the actual series is called. And C.S. Lewis is so much better of an author, but Madeleine L'Engle, outside of her books, is genuinely so much smarter, and I think that's so funny. Oh. I hate C.S. Lewis. C.S. Lewis is like genuinely one of my least favorite people ever. And people think he's like smart because he can write good. And then Madeleine L'Engle has like such better takes, which are also still bad, by the way, which people recognize are bad because she's not that good of an author. I think that's funny. Yes, it's not even just that he's Jesus pilled though, because Madeleine L'Engle is also Jesus pilled, and she's so much smarter. She's so much better of a philosopher, and is still like genuinely really dumb. Hello, Alyssa. I hope you're enjoying your bus ride. Anyway, C.S. Lewis is stupid. Tolkien was Jesus pilled. That explains a lot. Do you think we should put Jesus in a pill? True. Tolkien did not write Lion Jesus. I think it's funny how much more explicit Madeleine L'Engle was with like the Bible in her books as opposed to C.S. Lewis. Like C.S. Lewis is very explicit about it, but Madeleine L'Engle just straight up says that Jesus was a good person in one of her books. Jesus. Me when I'm fucking stupid and Christ build. Sorry. Believing in Jesus sure is the choice of all time. They just admitted Jesus was trans. True. Jesus would have been so much happier if he just accepted. If she just accepted her identity. Tolkien was Jesus pilled, but he said in a letter that he kept Christianity out of his books for very good reasons. I don't think that's possible. For a lot of reasons. Like, I guess because of like Western culture, it's kind of impossible to not have Christian influences, but I don't know. That makes me even less inclined to read Lord of the Rings though. I watched the first one and it was very like epic or whatever. It was fun. It was a really fun watch and I liked it, but I just never had the motivation to watch the second movie. And I got like I got like 3 or 4 hours into the audiobook and just could not do it. Yeah, true. Estrogen would have made Jesus a lot more holy than being crucified ever could have. They're taking the hobbits to Izalith. Damn. Kirk, what are you doing here? I forgot that he invades here too. Virgin birth, therefore he was AFAB. You know what? I agree. That's a better interpretation. Grumbly old men. Weren't there 13? Well, there were hundreds, if not thousands of disciples, but the apostles, there were 13 apostles, I think. Because Judas, and then someone else instead of Jesus. Judas, not Jesus. Fire wolves, wolves, and pups. I think it would, yes. Jesus transed and still was a bad person? That's crazy. Judas X Jesus Toxic Yuri. That might that might be the best chat message I've ever seen. I'm gonna be honest. Is probably a polykill, almost definitely. It's crazy that Jesus was transgender and was in a gay polycule and was still a bad person. Because he was a man. Never mind. I'm not gonna make that joke again, I apologize. There we go. Jesus was trans for the attention. I'm trans for the fun of the game. Yeah, if you're in a gay polycule, your chances of being trans does go up drastically. That's true. I think it's the other way around. If you're trans, your chances of being in a gay polycule go way up, but I think it's funny to say that it works both ways. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that trans people are like inherently like quote unquote deviant sexualities, you know? So like they're more likely to um to figure out that they are okay with that kind of thing, I guess is the way to I want to put it. Do you think Jesus would fuck with Shadow the Hedgehog? Shadow likes guns, so probably. Only able to first try a bit of chaos because I had the pike? I don't think that's true. I mean, I've done it with other weapons. Yeah, very relatable. I also want to be surrounded by women. Is a weapon good for general, or is it good for... I mean, the pike is a good weapon. It's hard for me to say that any weapon that isn't good for general use is good at all. Like, there are exceptions, like the bandit's knife or whatever is a really, really, really good for, like, the stray demon. And kind of underwhelming for everything else. But, I don't know. Not even actually poly, but you see the appeal. I have tried. No, I haven't. I've considered monogamy. And I can't. It does not work in my brain. Like the idea of not being able to be with so many incredible people is just like, why would I do that to myself? And a knife is good on anything that can bleed, yeah. Pardon me? Rolling skeletons are 10,000 times worse than bone wheels, and I will never hear otherwise. I feel like most people's conceptions of a polycule are not how, at least in my experience, most polycules actually work. Like for me, I just happen to be dating a few people, and some of those people happen to be dating each other, but not all of them. And like, most partners that my partners have, I'm not also partners with. So, more of a web than a, and like, in my understanding, what the general conception of a polycule is. Pinwheel isn't very hot. Pinwheel is 3 people who are like a straight family. Straight, like, you know, bad family. most powerful riposte weapon? I don't think that's true. I think the Demon's Great Axe is the most powerful riposte weapon, actually. What is the Wandering In about? I don't... it's a lit RPG isekai, but instead of being like, I don't know, instead of being like Sword Art Online about that premise, it uses that to go into like social commentary and stuff like that. Talks about, and it also has like a lot of mythology around it too. I think it's really cool. Unlike, you know, a lot of other annoying, weird lit RPGs. I hate that I like the idea of lit RPGs because of the Wandering In, but then most lit RPGs are very difficult to get into. Actually, is the bandit's knife as long as you have 40 dex? I very much highly doubt that. I feel like the Demon's Guide Axe with a riposte is just gonna do more damage. Considering it is by far the highest AR weapon in the game. But I remembered really liking Sword Art Online when I first watched it. And I tried to watch it again recently. I watched the first episode and I just it was like, ugh, that was kind of rough, but maybe the second episode, you know, once they've set everything up, maybe the second episode is kind of good. And I watched like half the second episode and hated it. It was so unfun to watch. It is very much baby's first anime. My first anime was Attack on Titan, I think. Oh, I'm not human, so I'm not gonna get invaded. Ria, are you okay? Did you did you have a stroke while writing that? You know, I was just reminded of an ex who said that they wanted to go on a walk with me, like holding hands in Ash Lake, on the beach, the Ash Beach in Ash Lake. I thought that was so cute, and I hadn't thought about that again until now. And now I'm like having a melancholy remembrance of that. Big bad bone man. All right, good luck closing. Thank you for being here while you could. Oh my god, the range is huge. Huh. You know what? Kind of underwhelming, I'm gonna be honest. I forgot. Let me out. Okay, well. Oh, is he resistant to pierce damage? I actually didn't know that. Come on. The spear moveset did make that a lot easier than I expected, but I also got pretty lucky with Nito's attacks and everything, so that was a very easy Nito fight though. Ash Lake does have a hot dragon, that's true. DLC time. He has a bunch of skellies in a trench coat. I agree, Cully. Capitalism should also be a crime, though, so... I mean, there are hotter dragons. It's not like... It's not like Ancient Dragon is... The Everlasting Dragon is the hottest dragon, but it is a hot dragon. Pretty sure its physical resistances are all equal. I would not know. You would think for how much I know about this game, it would be better with, like, knowing resistances and stuff. Ancient Dragon. Okay, first of all, the Hydra is not a dragon, so... But I do think that the Hydra is hotter than the Everlasting Dragon. Would be my mom's section. I like how you think. What do you mean the Hydras are not hot? Skill issue? Finn's first ever bad take. They have 7 heads. What do you mean they're not hot? Did I talk to Dusk? Probably. Yeah, because I got the pendant. Just like the Hydra, because it's got multiple heads. That's not the only reason. Have you seen the body shape? Come on now. Basically a polycule on its own. True. To be fair, I've got... I am a system, and there's 4 of us in here, so I'm also basically a polycule on my own. So I relate, you know? I gotta get 3 more headmates. See? I'm always right. I'm extremely correct about everything. Anyone who knows me knows this. It's like I'm a Hydra. Not quite, but close. What? That was sick! I've never been hit by that. That was so fucking cool. I should get hit by that on purpose. That was awesome. I had no idea I did a backflip off your face. What the hell? Holy shit. That's like the kick attack, when you're standing behind it, like the horse kick attack. That's just a thing that I had no idea it could do. That's my favorite boss in the series, by the way, and I've never been hit by that. Okay, the body shape is is it a sort of amorphous lump? No, it's like round, and then it like tapers. Good. Yeah, Lunacid is pretty peak. I love Lunacid. Really good game. Big shock would be attracted to a round creature. Who would have guessed? The most shocking thing. Get off of me! God damn it. No! I'm gonna cry. Everything's better round and soft? Exactly. I agree. Ops found in Trans Girl? More likely than you think. Getting Cloud live on stream. More likely than you think. Hello, Carl Gustav Jung. Welcome. When I get plowed. You and me both. I forgot about the drunk stream. I need to get alcohol. I need to get paid so I can get alcohol. I believe this month is the month that I get the money from all the people who are donating specifically for me to get alcohol. At this point, there are like 4 claims to that. Mag. Ugh. So far, none of them legal yet. Carl Gustav Young watches streamer get plowed live on stream. Left the Freaky Club. That's crazy. This is also a Freaky Club though, so. that's true, that does happen. I've never had like you saying Gavan made me think about it. I've never had like a low proof like beer or ale or anything. Oh, this is where choking comes in handy. Hold on. Choke's time to shine. I want to get like an ale or to stand in as a Ziegbrow for the drunk stream. I think that's fun. We haven't been choking it. It's not really a choke weapon, you know? I also want to get choked. Choke sesh. You know, as I've like started talking for a living, basically, I've gotten a lot better at enunciating to the point where most popular like tongue twisters are fairly easy for me. But sometimes there's just a combination of words that my brain does not jive with, and choke sesh is definitely one of them. At least all seashells down by the seashore, you know? You think being good at that's choke sesh. Choke sesh. Choke sesh. Choke sesh. Choke sesh. Choke. You think that'd be easier? Is the point. No, it's the character's a fish, see? Top left. Pike fish using the pike spear. Choke sesh. Arguably even better. Yeah, the Jesus Christ. The drunk stream is going to be a choke sesh for sure. There is no world in which I would possibly be able to pronounce half of these words when I'm drunk. Choke sesh simultaneously. That's what I was trying to do, Alyssa. It wasn't working. Choke sesh, choke sesh, choke sesh. Fuck. One smart feller, he felt smart. Fuck does choke mean? Shield poke. That's a lot better damage than I was expecting. Oh my god, I'm surprised I got out of there alive. Or at least hit this. You know what? For Artorias specifically, this is like a really good moveset. That was very greedy and evidently very, very worth. That was incredibly easy. Peter being very normal in stream, as usual. Purple burglar alarm. Purple burglar alarm, purple burglar alarm, purple burglar alarm. That doesn't seem that bad. Choking is too powerful for a for a lesbian puppy boy. Which can confirm. As a lesbian puppy girl, it's almost there for me too. I forgot. I hit the enemy and just kept going. On Connery. What? Choke sesh. Choke sesh. Choke sesh. Choke. No. I don't think I get it. I don't think I understand how that helps. No. It occurs to me that you might be saying like do a Sean Connery impression, and I have no idea what that person sounds like. So he did break one of his arms. That would make it very difficult to choke. Otherwise, he would be a choker. Rancid Artorias yogurt. Ugh. I'm not pretending to be a dog, first of all. I am a puppy. I am a fox. This isn't pretending. I don't play games about my identity. Great swords can't choke? Maybe not if you're a coward. They can if you have the power of a he-him lesbian puppy boy. Come on now. Yeah, but that's why I killed him, Rhea. It's true, Carl. The public wasn't supposed to know about that, but it is true. Ow! It smacked me in the ass while I was falling. Jesus. Patricia Taxton does have a good video about being a dog. Oof. Stop! God damn it! Are they more likely to do that if you're shielding? Come on, show me a blowhead. You know you want to. Damn it. Okay, don't do a running attack. Cool. Hardest part of the DLC done, assuming I don't die to this thing. This is a beautiful game. I agree. I think it looks very good. I think Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1, and Dark Souls 2 all look incredible. Bloodborne looks good sometimes. And then you get to, like, the Nightmare Frontier, and it's just... ugh. You're a beta male, Sonic. Cock control. Right. My autism took over. I couldn't avoid saying that. I really tried to stop myself. Bloodborne is gorgeous. Sometimes. I really like everything up to the forest. And then, like, Yahar'gul looks awful and boring. And the Nightmare Frontier looks boring as hell. The Hunter's Dream looks... or the Hunter's Nightmare looks incredibly boring. The Clock Tower is dramatically fine. The The fishing hamlet does look really good, though. I actually really like the forest hamlet. Or the fishing hamlet. But no, the forest is one of the best looking areas. Central Yarnum, the Cathedral Ward, and the forest all look really good. And then everything else looks kind of boring. Would you shoke to Bloodborne? You can't shoke in Bloodborne. There are no shoking weapons in Bloodborne. All the enemies in Bloodborne? Bloodborne is... I don't know. There are a lot of really annoying enemies in Bloodborne. Like, they throw 20 enemies at you immediately with a bunch of dogs and gunmen. And then they throw 2 dogs at you at once with 3 really fast enemies, 2 of which have guns. It's like, oh yeah, incredible. Such an awesome way to start this FromSoft game. I love how this is going so far. And then you get to the Cathedral Ward and there's even more dogs. It's like, oh, good. And then they throw, like, the most boring bosses at you. Yes, Vicar Amelia. Such a interesting, fun beast boss. That isn't just smack her back legs a couple times and you win. And then there's the first boss. I forget what it's called. That's also just camera. And then there's the Bloodstarved Beast that, if you stand next to it, you'll get poisoned. So you should be cautious and back off, even though it's very explicitly trying to teach you to be aggressive so you don't get poisoned in the first place. I don't know. Bloodborne is not great. I think Bloodborne is my least favorite now. God damn it. It was Elden Ring for a long time. It was Dark Souls 3 for a long time, then it was Elden Ring for a long time, but now I think it's Bloodborne. Bloodborne just doesn't have anything that I like. Trying to think of bosses that I do actually like in Bloodborne. I like, also, is that a hit list? Yeah. I like, the Amygdala. That was a really fun boss. I actually really liked Amygdala. I don't know. ROM sucks. The poison is to teach you to use consumables, not to back off. But you can also just parry. If you just parry, it's like genuinely not an issue. I don't know. I feel like the lessons they were trying to teach with Bloodborne were kind of especially because like a lot of the consumables are very useless in Bloodborne. Like pebbles are useless because you move level 69. I have to stay there. With pebbles, most of the time the best solution is to just run in and kill stuff anyway, like it is with Dark Souls 3. I don't like Ludwig either, and Maria is just parry a couple times and you win, right? I remember people hyping up Maria as like one of the best bosses in the game or whatever, and I get there and it's just like, oh yeah, I parried 3 times and I won. I think I genuinely beat her in like 3 tries. Ludwig is the worst boss that FromSoft has ever made. And I don't think I'm making an exaggeration there. There are some pretty bad bosses from, but there's just nothing redeemable about Ludwig. I do actually really like, I forgot to talk to Goff. I do really like the Cainhurst Manor guy. I forget his name. On top of the, I was just fighting him too, like last month. I got to that point. Martyr Logarius. I really like Martyr Logarius because he's actually really hard to parry. And you can't parry all of his attacks, and I think that's really cool. And so you have to like weave in your entire moveset, and I think that's fun. That said, he does have a couple of really annoying attacks. That's not what I meant to do. Again, it's like so close. I think Bloodborne is very close to being a really good game. I think that Dark Souls 3 did Bloodborne better, but also dropped all the cool stuff that Bloodborne had. Like, it drops the vibe. It also still has bad bosses that are in my opinion, a little bit better than a lot of Bloodborne bosses. I think the level design is what Bloodborne level design should have been. I don't know. Which Soulsborne game has the worst dogs? Definitely Dark Souls 3 for me. Like, Elden Ring does have the bleed dogs, but Elden Ring or Dark Souls 3 has the worst dogs just because they teleport. Bloodborne gameplay is the best Souls ever got, but it just removes like half the playstyles. Using a shield and Ginger's passivity. I always hated that so much. Yes, because I definitely never used shields in my first couple playthroughs in order to get really close to an enemy. Yeah, Rhea thinks of caging differently from most trans women, huh? Bloodborne is for tops only. I mean, it's... I don't know. Bloodborne is also, like, dramatically easy. Like, I would argue Demon Souls is the easiest, followed very closely by Bloodborne, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I really, really love Demon Souls, but it makes it really hard to replay Bloodborne when there are two entire playstyles, and extremely easy bosses. What's our damage like? Not good, not terrible. I think Bloodborne is really good. Oh my god, the counter damage is crazy though. If you happen to like the playstyle that it forces you to use. If you happen to enjoy any other playstyle, there's just too bad. That is my take on Bloodborne. I think if you want to go for that playstyle, I think it's really, really good. And if you don't, oh well. Guess you can't like the game. Oh, insane skill issue. You can get double hit by that? I'm so alive right now. That's crazy. This be counter damage? It will not be. Yeah, I think Sekiro, again, it's really, really good if you like the playstyle, and if you don't, it's kind of awful. I went the wrong way there. That's fine. You know, I was not a believer in counter damage until this run. I think if anything, that makes the Pike really, really good. The Pike is the best spear because it made me understand how good counter damage is. Actually, that's not true. I guess the Lucerne did that. It made me understand that spears are good because of counter damage. Therefore, it is the best spear. There we go. And I think the problem, I don't think it's bad that there's only one, or that there's only a couple playstyles for Bloodborne and Sekiro. I think it's just that it's kind of not what people wanted out of a Souls game, right? And I think for Bloodborne especially, it would work, most of its stuff would work really, really well in the context of a Souls game with multiple playstyles, but you don't get to experience that. And that's what I don't like about Bloodborne. Huh? Not enough time for satisfaction. Some people are quick. Wonder if Shoking makes counter damage insane. It makes it easier to use. I don't need levels in Vitality. Look, I didn't mean to obliterate Calamite that quickly, but... Oh, actually, I might not need... I did level up Endurance. Okay, well, never mind. That's crazy that I have 20 Endurance and I can't even wear that. Yeah, Sekiro isn't a Souls-like, but it did come from the Souls-like people. Sekiro is what you want a DMZ to be? I agree. Yeah, I tried to play Sekiro like a stealth game in my first playthrough, and I made it so awful. um, the more I played the game, the less I played it like a stealth game, and it made it so much more fun. No, no, November is pretty bad for your sexual health. I would recommend not doing that. Oh my god, did that go through? No, it did not. Okay. Soup's cake. Okay, Gwen. Oh, the fast one. That's rude. Too strict about Calamite list? True. Okay, I gotta choke him to death. Imagine. um... Alright, thoughts on the weapon. I do think this is the best spear. I don't remember the winged spear well enough, honestly. From stats-wise, this is the best spear. Also longer than the winged spear, but I do think that this is better than the winged spear. I also, again, I did actually like very much encourage. Why was I stopping like that one? What was that animation? What? I have no idea what that was. Anyway. Live Shoke /1. I know. Anyway, I enjoyed this weapon a lot more than any of the other spears. What I call it the most underrated weapon. I forgot I put that in the thumbnail. Probably just because people say that other spears are better. In general, I would say this is probably a very underrated weapon. I don't know about most underrated, though. That was very much for clickbait purposes. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I love you all, and I don't know how to end this.